Is sponsored by the Columbia Metropolitan Airport, your hometown airport. For a list of nonstop destinations, visit flycae.com.
Yeah. Welcome back, everyone, to Soda City Live. Tomorrow, the Koger Center will be filled with live symphonic music and a passion for music as the South Carolina Philharmonic presents One Night with Don Juan. And as a special treat, a pianist from Italy who now is a familiar face on 5 continents. Morihiko Nakahara is the music director of the South Carolina Philharmonic, and Alessio Bax will be tomorrow's guest pianist. Gentlemen, so good to have you both with us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here. So from Italy to America back in
1994.
But as a young child where you grew up, piano was so key in your life. In fact, you graduated and have had just numerous honors since the age of what, 14?
Yeah, I started at age 7, and somehow, you know how kids love whatever they're doing.
Yes.
And somehow it never changed my mind and just stuck with me.
Well, and you have come to Columbia before, and in fact, after he played, you guys kind of made a little deal with each other that he had to come back again. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we were just talking about this. It was 9 years ago.
Yes.
You know, seems like yesterday or
Right.
so. It's been already 9 years. And at that concert, we did the first piano concerto by Brahms. And then after that, we said, well, he
Gotta
wrote
do the
2.
second, right.
So we said, we got to do the second one. And then, you know, finally, we're making good on that promise.
And
so.
you are, and you will be performing this at the end. But there's a centerpiece as well. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so usually, you know, when we have a concerto with a
Yes.
soloist, we do a sort of sandwich in the middle of the concert.
Right.
But the piece that Alessio is featured on, that's an epic piece. You know, that's like almost 50 minutes long. So that's why we're putting it in the second half of the concert to end it. You know, it's the biggest piece on the program. And then the first half, we have 2 pieces. Don Juan is in the title of the show. So
Yes.
it's the famous Don Juan by Richard Strauss, which is, you know, one of the most lush and romantic and dramatic piece that's ever written. And then we're pairing it with a new piece by American composer Jennifer Higdon, based on her recent opera on Cold Mountain, which
Yes.
you know was also turned into a movie several years ago.
Yes,
So.
yeah, and that also is a beautiful piece. Did you use the word lush?
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's a good, the drama of that particular piece of Brahms, I would use that word, but I like how you said the word lush. When you're playing it, what is most difficult on that piece?
Well, this is a titanic piece, I have to say. I mean, it's not only one of the greatest pieces of classical music, but probably one of the greatest achievements of humankind, and I'm not even exaggerating, both concerti. This is, it's almost like a symphony, I have to say, with a big piano part. Technically, it's very demanding, but it's not showy at all. So in a way, you really have to love the music and to make it work.
And for the audience to love music, to understand and be able to appreciate how difficult it is for you. I think what happens a lot of times, because you play so beautifully, so smoothly, it seems effortlessly to us, but yet we know there's so much more that goes into it.
That's our hope.
That's right, yeah.
If I see you go like this, I'm going to know something went
Yes.
wrong. So I often wonder what you guys do, because you're constantly practicing your music. What is life like for you on the outside when you're not in the middle of training your hands and your mind and working together with other orchestra members? You love cooking, and apparently the word is you like these epic dinner parties at your home in New York with your wife and daughter.
Well, I love to open up my home to friends, and I live in New York, so it's very easy when I'm home. There are lots of musician friends that are traveling through New York to perform, and of course there's a choice of many wonderful restaurants, but it's a different vibe altogether to have people home.
Do you play for them when they're there?
No, I don't mix the two.
You're off, right?
I don't mix the two.
You're off. You just
It's
turn
really
on.
a hobby.
Yes, you just turn on the music and let somebody else do it. I've always wondered, Morihiko, what about you? I mean, you go between 2 states
Right,
anyway.
yeah.
What do you do when it's time to get away from performing?
I've always enjoyed nature, so it's like walking to clear the mind, or
Yes,
hiking
yes.
is always great. I'm, cooking. I love cooking, but I'm afraid to admit this in front of Alessio because I know what accomplished,
Cook
chef he is.
Yes.
You know, like my dishes are just kind of a mess.
Right,
but
right.
they taste good. But
Right,
it's like,
right.
yeah. But that's always good.
But it is. But again, It doesn't surprise me that both of you have a love for cooking, because music requires creativity and putting together, assembling, and that's certainly what music does. And you have just led the South Carolina Philharmonic to a whole new level, and it's so beautiful. And what a pleasure to have you in town.
My pleasure.
Thank you for being here. Let's get the viewers the information. The One Night with Don Juan, presented by the South Carolina Philharmonic, features internationally celebrated pianist Alessio Bax. The performance is tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. at the Coger Center for the Arts. Tickets are $20 to $55, and the evening includes the premiere of Jennifer Higdon's Cold Mountain Suite.